Hey, Crystal Maiden here. And once again, I have to ask, how does he expect to get Dark Gaia to work for him? Like, he's attracted all the monsters to his base. Now what? I mean, he's not mentioning any sort of brainwashing chip or anything. So what's his plan? Like, the twist at the end isn't exactly shocking when it's so obvious from the very beginning.
Super genius! Your skill at self-aggrandizement is unparalleled.
How is he even making that clapping sound with his metallic hands? That's abusive. But instead of really focusing on it to show that it's him being evil, and that's just how evil he is, instead just played for comedy. Like, the game doesn't literally have a sitcom blackjack playing there, but it might as well.
Finally, my ambitions will be achieved.
Like, I think this is the first time Eggman's ever actually slapped one of his robots. Which makes sense because Orbot, or I guess Sass, is a non-combat robot, so it's perfectly fine. Well, it's not fine at all, but what I mean is that he won't get hurt from doing that. But the point is that he needs him for stress relief. Well, I think the amount of stress he'd get from him snarking at him would more than outweigh the amount of stress he'd relieve by attacking him and stuff. So now we go to Shamar because the professor moved to Shamar for no reason. He doesn't do a good job explaining it. It's explained in the HD version that this guy is sneezing because he's possessed by demons. I mean, Dark Gaia monsters. I don't know why Dark Gaia monsters can possess people and make them dance and act negative and sneeze. Like, is it an unintentional side effect of them being possessed and they can't get the humans to do what they really want or turn them into monsters? Why does the humans get affected so differently from Sonic? Like, I don't know, it's never actually explained why Sonic turned into a werehog. I'm assuming that's because the negative power of the Chaos Emerald went into him. But I don't know. It's never explained. So he wanted to make a lab site that wasn't too obvious. So I guess he's hiding from Eggman? Okay, I guess that makes sense. She wants to do something to help, but she's not doing anything to help. Like, I think like, at least give me the option to have Amy as an AI partner to fight the monsters with me in the werehog levels. Like, that would've been kinda cool. But no. She just comes off as useless and sort of a waste of a character in this game. She just stands around Professor Pickle's lab, not doing anything. At least explain it as she's helping him with the chores. But even then, that doesn't directly help Sonic in any way. She's just there to be very minor comedy relief. What a waste of her character. I think in the HD version, you can ask her on a date. And, well, it's implied that that date leads to Sonic the Black Knight later. But anyways, this is Shamar's Day Stage, and it is so much better than the HD version. In fact, I would even go to say as this is my favorite level in the game. It's perfectly designed for a boost level. The horizon is so wide that you have lots of time to see that the wall is coming up on the horizon and you need to drift through it. So not only are there a lot of long stretches of land to properly take advantage of the fact that you have boost, but it's also wide. Like, there's a wide horizon, which is fantastic. In the HD version, there's too much in your way. Here, like, there's lots of springs satisfying and taking you one part of the level to another. There's lots of dash pads, and there's lots of... Well, the only complaint I have so far is that I hate how you boosted to a knee-high wall that you didn't see coming because there was a crate blocking the way and the camera was not in the right position. Like, the camera's pretty far behind you. The camera's behind you and a little below you. So it can be kind of hard to tell when you're coming up to something like a pit or a crate. But yeah, this is a really well-designed level. I also love the... I like the music of this place, but mainly when I'm boosting. Like, it has a pretty cool tune that... Well, like, the problem is that it keeps its focus on one instrument for most of it. So it can be kind of bland and repetitive and empty when you hear it on your own. It sounds a lot better when you have the wishing effect or the boost added to it. I hate that pillar. And that one. Why are they there? You're boosting along a long stretch of land. It's not exactly in your instincts to jump. But yeah, like there's also homing attack chains. It's really nothing that you haven't seen before. In general, all of the boost levels are the same. It's just the way that they're structured. Like, the order in which you see the familiar gimmicks that's different between them. And the aesthetic and the music. The problem I have with the wall jumping here is that you expect that the momentum you have from jumping off the wall will be enough to carry you over to the next wall when you go from holding one direction to another in midair. But it doesn't. Like, you gotta keep on holding the direction. Like if you were wall jumping left, you gotta keep on holding left until the instant that you cling onto the wall. And then you've immediately got to hold right and A to wall jump again. Like, you'd expect to get some leeway time where you can start holding a different direction in midair, but you can't. I hate that pit. But I barely ever die in this level. Like, I think it would have been better if there was a ramp or a spring there, instead of you boosting right into the pit because the camera's so close to you and behind you that you don't react to it in time. But yeah, like, I like this level. Like, I think the music is really cool. It's mostly good when you're boosting. Not, like, you'll be disappointed if you go to YouTube and listen to it on its own. But, like, I in general don't like the soundtrack of this game all that much. I find it really forgettable. It's atmospheric. It actually suits the context. But I don't really find it all that catchy. And it doesn't have nearly enough electric guitars, which isn't really Sonic-like, to be honest. But I like the theme of the Shamar Days stage, at least when I'm playing it. When I'm playing it, it's my favorite theme in the game. Well, not really. That would be the Hub World theme. Like, seriously, the Shamar Hub World theme is the best thing ever. Like, it really makes you want to dance. There's a reason that I played it when I was talking about Unleashed at the end of my Rush Adventure Let's Play. Why are they giving you a light speed tutorial now? I've been doing it by accident by pressing the boost button since the beginning. And it's around this time, the HD version, when you would have to collect the Lightspeed Dash. Because Sonic doesn't still have it from 06 and Heroes and Adventure 2. For some reason. No! What a great mission. It's so easy to fail this. Why are you restricted to the 2D section not once, but twice? Why did they think this was a good idea? Why can't you just go through the entire level? But I've already complained about this so much. Like, you have to take very specific routes in order to beat it. If you screw up the wall jumping, you're pretty much doomed. I don't really hate the aesthetic of this level. Like, most people hate the aesthetics of desert levels because they're all yellow and brown. But there's a lot of greenery to go around. And, like, I like how the walls and the pillars and stuff are all different shades of yellow from the ground. To the point where you instantly register it as a wall that you can't boost into. And because everything's one color, rather than a whole bunch of different colors like the buildings in Rooftop Run, I feel like you react pretty quickly to the fact that you're drifting into a wall. You instantly register as a wall, rather than your brain taking the extra processing power and time to figure out that, hey, this wall consists of multiple different colors. Now let's slow down your reaction times while we process this.
Sweet.
But yeah, you take a very specific route through the level, and you get a whole bunch of rings that way. is a lot more pronounced in the next ring mission. That's right, there's more missions after this. Why are there so many missions? It honestly feels like they couldn't have a good gameplay style without compensating for it with tediousness. Like, why are they making you do this kind of mission again? As if we really liked the don't break the ice mission so much that we wanted to do it 3 times. Really? The same logic that worked out for the previous times you did it applies here. Just take it slow in a Sonic game. Make sure you keep to the right or you might fall into a pit at some point. I think it's here. And just trust the dash pads and homing attack chains. Like, this is the exact opposite of what Sonic should be. You know? Especially in a 3D game. Like, look how awkward that was. I had to stop and just turn around. Like, why did they think this was a good idea? But yeah, like, I don't hate the aesthetic of this place. And I really like the atmosphere. Like, in general, I'm a sucker for desert levels. I love the music of desert levels and, like, the Arabic instruments accompanying the... I guess it's a guitar or whatever is the main instrument playing for Shamar. Like, I love the hub world theme and its atmosphere. Like, the clothing that the villagers wear and everything like that. Shamar is easily my favorite country in the game. It just sucks that its werehog levels are so bland. But you'll see what I mean later. I think at some point in these missions, you're expected to boost after hitting a spring. The problem is that your instinct is not to boost after hitting a spring. It's to not boost, because if you do that, then you're not going to be able to do a homing attack chain. Because you can't homing attack while you're still holding the Y button. So, it feels unintuitive. And even though you're only supposed to collect 70 rings, it's still a pretty easy mission to fail. You have to take very specific routes to beat it. I believe that the HD version has an achievement called I Ain't Afraid of No Ghosts, which is obviously a reference to Ghostbusters.
Sweet.
You get it by completing 2 missions where you collect ghosts from an NPC that has a name that starts with M that is pretty much impossible to pronounce. Oh, I unlocked a secret soundtrack. Wonderful. Why can't all of the songs in the soundtracks be unlocked from the very beginning? And why can't... Clumsy foreshadowing. Like, it's such a half-assed attempt to try to make the amnesia more relevant to the story, when it really isn't. Like, it could have been removed, and it really wouldn't have mattered. And of course, we get clumsy level progression once again. Suddenly, you're supposed to go to Adabat, rather than immediately going to Shamar's werehog level. Which is especially concerning considering that Adabat's werehog level, which we're going to next by the way, is the hardest werehog level so far. Aside from Eggman Land, obviously, it's the hardest werehog level in the game. Shamar would have made a lot more sense as the next werehog level at this point. Instead, we get a huge difficulty spike.